Hey, it's Magical Mimi, and I want to address something. You know, Charlie Kirk and Laura Ingraham talking about the 4 a.m. club. hmm So I was sent a video about it, and I watched the clip from the segment, and it was very indicative of like watching a cockroach that's been flipped on its back squealing for anybody to notice and help them. And like that was the vibe. Or it was like just no teeth. There was like no teeth to anything. It lacked any rigor, and it just made me laugh. It was hilarious. And then Charlie coupled the 4 a.m. club in with gender politics and political ideology to try and paint the picture that the modern Democratic Party is all delusional, whether they're psychics or they don't know what gender they are or they're socialists. I mean, like, coupled it all together. If that is not a sign of their weakening power, I don't know what is. And for them to talk about the 4 a.m. club should be an indication that we're onto something and they're threatened by it. Because why even talk about us? Why mention us at all if it's not to try and fit some narrative that the left is dangerous? And as somebody who was targeted by a Tangerine supporter in October,
influenced by a lot of the rhetoric
that
has been.
I was almost ran over, coming right at me, said some really horrible things that I can't even repeat on this app. But you call a exterminator for bugs, right? It's kind of like something like that the guy said to me and my fellow Dems, because we had a pride flag at our tent. So I know what it's like to be targeted due to that rhetoric. And I still haven't backed down. I don't back down to bullies, never will, never have. You can say whatever you want about me. I know who I am. And that will not change just because some bully who is not secure with themselves says something negative about me or any of my beliefs. It's not going to change. Not at all. All I saw from that video, it's like, that a football player from your high school that like just never left home because he had a failure to launch issue and has like stayed there, and like 20 years later he's still wearing his varsity jacket speaking about his glory days, and everybody like just doesn't care. It's like, move on already, dude. That's what the conversation was like. They're scared. And the reason for that is because those of us in the 4 a.m. club, we knew around 4 a.m. after the big contest that something wasn't right. And now that data is catching up to what we have always felt and known, right? And so you have Rockland County. You have Professor Mevin of the U of M talking about Pennsylvania, and now North Carolina, which North Carolina has always been the red herring. Always. And they're talking about it. And so the original people that talked about it were the psychics, the 4 a.m. club. So if they can try and discredit us, they can discredit everything else. That's what they want to do, because ultimately they're scared. Ultimately, they see the writing on the wall and they don't like it. And so they need to discredit us and lump us all together and claim that this is the new Democratic movement, when most people that are in this 4 a.m. club aren't even Democrats. I am. I've been a registered Democrat since I was 18. And I'm proud to be one. And I'm a proud member of the 4 a.m. club. I'm proud of my beliefs as a Christian as well. Believing what Jesus Christ said, loving thy neighbor, means everyone, including an immigrant that doesn't have the right papers. It includes everyone. A few months ago, Dean went to Texas to debate Charlie Kirk, and Charlie Kirk couldn't even face Dean in a debate because he was too scared to do that. So Charlie Kirk, here's your invitation. If you want to debate one of the lunatic lefties that's a psychic, I'm right here, honey. But you'll regret it because I have a wealth of knowledge in history and politics. And before anybody knew me as Magical MiMi, I have been wanting to debate your sorry little ass. So, how about you prove you're not scared, little boy? Because that's all you are. You're too afraid to be yourself. So that's why you come after trans people, come after psychics, you come after anyone who is unapologetic about who God made them to be. Because you are too afraid to be who God made you to be. You're too afraid. You're too afraid to break out of the box that the patriarchy has put you in. And I know it's going to be hard for you to understand Charlie Kirk, but the patriarchy does harm you too, even if your paycheck says otherwise. It's still harming you because at the end of the day, what is it doing to your soul? Because you ain't right with God. Going around spewing all this hate, that is not God. And that is not Jesus at all. And there is a part of you that knows it. There is. So again, to those of you that are part of the 4 a.m. club, or you're just learning about us because of Charlie Kirk and Laura Ingraham, everything they said is because they're scared. They're scared of the truth. They know that the cracks in the old paradigm are breaking. That paradigm, that patriarchal paradigm that has been around for millennia is crumbling. And that is a threat to who they are because they are so entrenched in that belief that feeds off of the oppression and the bullying and othering of people that they are scared of seeing so many people waking up and seeing the truth and connecting with the divine, with God and Goddess and Source. They're afraid of that. They're afraid of the truth. They're afraid of their own truth. And we don't need to be afraid of them. We just need to keep speaking the truth. And here's the thing. They said that they should ridicule us. But we stand in the light. And our light cannot be dimmed. And when you ridicule the light, just like a mirror, what you say about us bounces right back to you, honey. So it doesn't hurt us. It goes right back to you. But it's perfectly acceptable to ridicule you because you don't stand in the light. And when you ridicule people that are standing in the shadows, standing in the dark, you weaken their power. And if anything, that segment on Fox News showed that your power, Charlie and Laura and you other tangerine tyrant supporters, your power is waning and you know it. And everybody else does. Peace be with you.